Today we have an amazing guest of honor with us. It's the one and only.
Mr. Sulaiman Pooja Adibayo, a man whose lens has captured history in motion through his brand and authenticity.
It's not easy. Accredited FIFA, accredited CAF, and so many accredited that I will not say here. But please help us welcome the one and only Pooja. Good to have you, boss.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so who is Pooja? Let me first start from there. Who is Pooja?
Who is Pooja? Pooja is of many colors. So it depends on where you're coming from. It depends on where you want to describe me from. Some people know me as a sport journalist, which of course it's everywhere. Some people know me as an influencer, which of course, I influence for brands. Some people know me as maybe a bit controversial because I don't always leave people's neck. And, and of course, just a regular guy that wants to survive, in the shackles of this economy and, of course, make a livelihood for myself. So it's, I'm all, all weather, I tend to do what I like. Maybe that's why, I have so many following. I'm like a grassroots person. I'm down to earth, people see me, travel a lot, see me locally. They feel like, if this guy is traveling a lot, he doesn't I go to everywhere. If you have any events, in Ijebu, they call me. If you have any events in Akure, I will be there for you. And it's just what I've, tried to shape myself into. So basically that's what, from every angle or every lens that you look at me, you can describe me.
Okay, that's wonderful.
That's quite captivating and motivating. So my question for you, sir, is what would you say has been your success story? Because I've been a fan for a very long time. Right from all the times when you say you're tweeting from what you do back then, I think far back as 2020, but to who you are now. So what would you say has been your success story from transitioning from maybe a content person to an influencer to being probably the most popular sports journalist? As a matter of fact, I don't even know any other sports journalist. Just saying that respect and shout out to every other sports journalist. I'm not undermining your efforts, but I'm just saying that what would you say has been your success story so far?
Well, it's just being true to oneself. I don't think, I set out, I always tell people, I didn't set out to be what I want to be. I just set out to do my stuff. And I see lots of, maybe a lot of following. I will say, I didn't prepare to. I didn't even want to be. I just set out, hustle my way, and I found myself in this pool. My success is just being, consistent, being, realistic enough. In this age of social media, there's so many fakeness. People see me and say, "Oh, you're not really different from what you say online." You're not really different from what you do online. Why would I do differently? I meet clients every day. I meet people every day. So why would I have like two identities? So I just stay true to myself. I hustle way very hard. I was in Abeokuta, and of course, all of a sudden,
Congratulations
on that.
of course. So I always stay true to myself, hustle my way. I don't try to step on, toes. Stepping on toes is different anyway. I don't want, professionally, I don't step on people's toes. Of course, I step on toes when you when you come at me, but professionally, I don't do stuff like that. So I'm just being truth, consistency, works for me, and anywhere there is, money, you always find me. So you always find me.
Okay, so how have you been able to set your brand aside from every other person's own? Like, how did you come about to do those business and the branding? Because most times everybody just know Pooja. They're always asking about the sports side, but I want to ask about the marketing side. Like, how did you manage to market yourself? Because it's not easy. You didn't just wake up one day and you became the only one Pooja that we all know now. Like, what was the process like?
Well, I think, I have to relay back. People are telling me, you have to do a lot of, stuff like this. There's so many young ones, blah, 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 which of course I know. But because I didn't set out to do this stuff or to be at this level, I can't really relate back to how I want to now put it into stages. Because if you plan something, you know that okay, fine, stage 1 you have to do like this, stage 2 you have to do like this. Yeah. But I think disappointment sometimes can actually put you into a direction.
Listen in disguise.
Because I remember I wasn't a sport journalist. I was doing my normal blogging.
Oh, okay.
I was in school. After NYC, I was doing blogging because at that time it was Linda KJ and Bella Ninja. So you want to do something of sports. Because while in school, I had a viewing center and I knew that I'm going to be into sport in a way. So then you read Linda KG, entertainment. Okay, let me do sports. And I was just writing. And when we were about to go for the AFCON in Egypt in 2019 to 2018, we were planning, and there was no accreditation. No accreditation at all, because at that time, who you be? There's Complete Sports, there's Bila FM.
Yes.
You can't even have accreditation in that. If you are radio, there are top radios, Cool FM, all those big radios. So, and I felt like, there's no accreditation, and if there's no accreditation, there's no, backing for your visa. You have, all those other documents to get your visa. And, my mentor, my mentor, Bila Kazim, said, okay, fine, let's ask the NFF, that's the governing body of football in Nigeria. Let's ask them which one they ground, because you have to be at this tournament. And we got there and they said, see, there's nothing. But if you want to be a photojournalist, it did. Nobody actually even, because at that time, it was, I would say, less privileged accreditation. Nobody even want to even touch it. I was like, okay, if this one will assist me in my visa application, I will take it too. I just took it, and that's, that disappointment of not getting accreditation of what I wanted. Yeah. Because maybe if I got accredited as maybe a radio guy or a content guy or as a freelancer,
might not have tapped into this.
And of course, got to Egypt, and the rest is history.
I would say, as far back as I've known you, one thing has always stood out: the Ankara shorts, maybe the jersey, and the cap.
I even saw there was a video of him trending after Franco Onyeka scored, and everybody was like, see one Pooja. As I saw someone running with that Ankara, like, okay, it's only one Pooja.
So to me, at what point do you think this is what is going to be your brand for your branding? At what point do you feel like, or was it just that you tried it one day, you liked the feeling, and you went by it, and you just talk?
Okay. So I think I can say it was planned. And it wasn't planned because it wasn't the first on the agenda. I wanted to look differently. I came from a very strict family, 4 boys, last born, so you don't do anyhow. Because in first born, no discipline you. Second born day, third born day, you still have your papa for there. So like 5 men on my neck, and uncles and stuff like that. So I felt like, okay, fine, what will I do? Because if you're entering a new space, a new media space in a way, I won't say saturated, but there's competition. Yeah. People are doing stuff, big platforms, and you're a freelancer. You don't have anybody. So how do you now cope with, lots of people in the industry? Okay. And I feel like, okay, let me start tinting my beards. Because at that time, when I was, after NYC, before NYC, I couldn't keep beards and mustache. I have a big afro. I couldn't do that because family. Once you have an afro, you're a bad boy. Once you have big beards, yeah. So I couldn't do stuff. So after NYC, I just felt, okay, let me keep my beards and tint my beards. But I didn't have that courage yet. So I was using powder. So I'll use powder to do videos. They will see the powder, they will see the video. After I get to them, they'll say that there's no... So they're like, if they do video with tinted beards. Now, but I was using powder. Okay. And after a few months, I feel like, okay, they are now getting, familiar with it, and I started tinting it. But at that time, it wasn't really getting to the industry. So I feel like, okay, what would people recognize me for and say, this guy maybe in a meeting or something. So one day, I started wearing the Ankara, and one day, maybe a few months after, one guy now told me that, they give you this job, but I forgot your name. So in the meeting, I just said, can you remember that Ankara guy? I just tapped into it. Say, okay, Ankara guy. Okay. So if you cannot remember my name,
Because you
Remember
know
the
the
Ankara.
brand, the brand image.
So I said, nah, there, or that year. So from
Perfect branding.
2014, I started wearing, and since 2014, I've nothing like chinos or jeans. I've touched me.
Wow.
They even see me wearing Ankara to gym.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's
yeah.
great.
So it's just
Over 10 years.
creating a niche and flying with it.
How about the name Pooja? How did it come? Because I just think, is Pooja your middle name or is it because most times I'm sure it's weird when he called your name when he was like Sulaim, you'd be like
You only call my full name if you want to send me money. You call my government name when you want to send me money. It's crazy, things, just fall into places. So for me, I love Nollywood movies,
oh, okay.
Bollywood movies, Indian movies.
Sorry.
Yeah, because at that time, too, it's what you watch, all these people selling TVs. You stay by the roadside and you watch.
Yeah.
And because it's longer, they just play it and just leave it. So the TVs will be playing and we just be on the edge and you'll be watching. So, it was part and parcel of me. So NYC, I got to camp, Afro, and, started meeting new friends. And, shout out to, I will say it, maybe I will cut it and say it to you. Shout out to Fatima. And, you love Nollywood too. I love Bollywood, though. And I was at watch. I'm a fan of Bollywood too, blah, blah, blah. So at that time, it was one film that was really Pure Impossible,
Impossible, yeah.
Everybody was talking about it. Okay, I will name you because you love the Bollywood, I'll name you Pooja. And because we just entered camp like 3 days after camp, nobody actually, know my name. And because we were very close, 5 days after, we were very close. We go to Mami markets together, go to lectures together, we're in the same platoon. And when everybody comes to me, this guy I found, I sabi you now. Okay, his name is Pooja. So 2-3 weeks in camp, people started calling me Pooja in camp. And when I finished the camping, they moved into, my PPA was a local government.
Okay.
And I was the CLO.
Oh, wow.
So people now say, okay, so as I was popular, it was zero restriction for fellow coppers, people started calling me Pooja. So after like 6-7 months, and after that, this name don't stick.
And just carry on with it.
And because in school then, because I had a viewing center, I called it Stafford Bridge then, I was called Sulele as Sulaiman.
Okay.
So the Sulele was just fading away. And the girl was like, you better go and, register this name.
Go and trademark it.
Go and trademark it. So I just, I went, typed it. It was open, register Pooja Media Communications. And then, like you said off here, so recently, I said she's in Canada now.
Okay.
And she met someone at the mall and they said, okay, I'd say this Pooja. So you remember that guy that you guys said together? I said, that guy is not very big. I said, talk to him now. He's going to pay royalty because he's using that name. And that's how the name just stuck. And even as of now, if you call me, I have people by time. So if you call me my normal government name, I know I went to the same secondary school.
Yeah.
If you call me Sulele, I know that, okay, fine, you know me.
Another phase of life.
University days, my UNAD days, my UNAB days. But if you call me Pooja, I know that we enter the same house together because maybe you know me offline, online and stuff like that. So that's how the Pooja name came about.
That's amazing.
So shout out to Fatima. I don't know this how to make money.
Fatima, nice one. People are saying that you are very close to Osimhen. Who we say is your closest guy in Nigerian football team as a standard? I can call him anytime. That kind of vibe. Who we say is the closest?
Well, it's for me. I think I would tilt to maybe I would take 3-4 guys now because now that maybe the brand is big now, I can call any player and or I can message any player, or I can start an agenda and I can get the attention of the player. But when it comes to closeness, I think I'm closer, maybe more closer to Victor Osimhen and of course Chukwueze because we started from. I won't say we started from like we grew together. Because in 2018 too, I was in Asaba. And I did my, and I raised money, went to the camp before the AFCON in Egypt. So in those camps, you have big brands there, and you have big players.
Okay.
And as at that time too, Chukwueze, Onyekuru, Osimhen, they were like 18, 19. They were young players. They just, Genetro just brought them to the team to come and understudy because they were big boys. There was Mikel Obi, there's Ahmed Musa, there's Odion Gallo. So who wants to interview just few, even like Kelechi Iheanacho. So who are these new boys coming into the fold? Nobody wants to interview them because big platform we want to, because we are going, if you are a complete sport person, they will tell you have to take, exclusive from Mikel
That's
Obi.
your KPI.
That's the KPI. Sure you get. So, and at that time too, nobody was looking at them. And for me too, I couldn't move closer to all the big boys in camp, all the big players in camp, because who I be. You just have to what? You say what platform? Say Pooja. Who be this Pooja? Go and sit down somewhere. So you have like a division in camp, not like really a division because all the media are going to the big boys. And as a less privileged too, I just say, Baba, nobody come interview you, make I interview you.
Nobody said interview.
So they felt in the point that like this guy came to us, and the camp ended. So after like few months, we had set up our process for Egypt, and when we got to Egypt, it's still the same thing. And they just you
This
come
guy.
here. I said, I come on. So he says they don't answer me because I think I think there was one dinner or something, and I saw Mikel Obi walking, and I was trying to call him for maybe sharp interview. It'd be like say he'd be deaf and dumb. Mikel.
Yeah.
So as I just stop back, I just say a bit of Osimhen. They don't go answer you, Mama. Come to us, we go answer you. Make I do interview for you. So and since then, so I cannot measure my progress, my growth with them.
Okay.
So we now started growing together, moving to club sides, injuries wise, So I was actually monitoring them, and because of someone that cared about them as at that time when we were not
When
really
nobody
big
really knew
superstars.
about them.
And of course, nobody actually know Pooja at that time too. So we grew together. The growth is different though. But I can actually use them for my photography or sport journalist because
History, like the story
Egypt was
behind
my first ever international engagement. So I will say in a way, because we are true to ourselves, we've grown together in their own field as well. They're growing in my own field as well. I'm growing. I can say they're my parties in camp.
I was watching one of your videos on YouTube, the one that Obi Mikel
Yeah.
invited you to London. So now, how do you feel when that time you're trying to call him to tell him that guy, let me have an interview, and now he invited you to come over and stuff like that? How do you feel?
It's actually very crazy, and shout out to Mikel Obi. I wasn't following him because as a journalist, as a content person, you want to, even if you don't have a KPI, you want to interview or you want to video or you want to do stuff with the big boys in camp.
Definitely.
Because at that time, if you have an exclusive for Mikel Obi, imagine. Because that time too, he was signing for Transport, and they flew a private jet to bring a jersey for him to sign in camp. And we knew at that time that this was the last AFCON for Mikel Obi. Imagine I have that exclusive video, or even have the opportunity to be the one to snap, because they unveiled him, because it was January.
Yeah.
So they unveiled him in camp. So they brought private jet, they brought the video, the jerseys, he signed it. So I was hungry, so I didn't follow him anywhere on Instagram. and I know that if in a way he just search his name on my Twitter page, just Mikel Obi, and he just click and he will not even call me because I drag him too much. Because at that time you are the captain of the side, we want to have interview with you, exclusive with you. We will spend money to Egypt. It's not easy. And at that time, the return ticket was 380. The dollar was 380. And it was 380,000. And it was hell to raise that money. You call family members. You threaten friends. You threaten... because I think I had my passport for like 4 years. It was, just identification ID card.
Means of verification.
So I wanted to go, and for you to now
I've not been
spend,
stamped yet.
you tell your if you don't, you want me to fail. You want me to, so you now got to a tournament like that, and the big boys are not, responsive
They're
and
not
not.
showing love.
So I didn't even. So he has messaged me on Instagram because you of course I'm not following him. It would be like a request, so I didn't even see it. So I saw a message on my WhatsApp. That Alpha, is this Pooja? Blah blah blah. I got a number from a colleague. Mikel Obi has been trying to reach out to you. Can you check your DM on IG? Reach out to me. If not PM, the way I go, if not crisis management, the way I go, because I was having too many podcasts, but he wanted to promote this podcast. Okay, I now open. I know even the follower. I first follow him. In his back end, we just look and say, this man.
Started following you.
Because if he's a normal Nigerian, I don't think he will have anything to do with me. And because I wasn't expecting anything from him,
Okay.
you weren't giving me interview, I don't have to like you. Because you didn't help my growth.
Exactly.
You didn't have my journey. So I saw it, and the only thing he just mentioned, do you have a UK visa? Why are you asking me, do you have a UK visa? And you still want to come and, visa shame me? So I just replied, yes, I have an existing UK visa. That's okay, please, can I have your number? So that's my guys will reach out to you. So I just sent it. So I just, you have to come to UK. You have to do a proper documentary for Mikel Obi. I said, In 2018, I was literally calling this guy. He turned deaf and dumb. There was no earpiece. There was no headphone. He just go like to the elevator. As I talk about like this, like Victor's way the last day. If they call legend, you better come interview us. And, we had that conversation, when I got to the UK, we spoke at length, talked about, I showed him most of my tweets. I'm not your friend, I can't. And he explained too, that as at that time too, if you look at it too, we are just talking about it now. If you're a big brand as a footballer, you have to strive to have interview with the big players. You can be angry, which is right. You may not like it, but realistically, Mikel Obi will not answer me. Let's be realistic. But that was where we came together and feel like, yes, I was right to drag you.
All the issues,
Yes.
You were right as well not to give me audience because that BBC day, Pooja day. Baba, who you go?
It's
definitely.
BBC. Don't you know?
It's not even, you can't even
They are
match
not
it.
at the same scale.
Yeah.
So when I explained, I spent like 10 days. Took me to Chelsea, took me to too many places. Did massive, and right now, I can just message Alpha now.
There are levels to this.
He will reply. So
That's a big flex.
So it's just true to your game, consistency, and I grew as well, and it felt like I can give him something that he needs now, locally, and of course I gave it to him.
My question is, the level you are now, so for a brand that is just growing, so for example, our enthusiast, we are already getting there, but we know that the ceiling, the heights where we are looking to elevate to is still very, very much higher. So what are the tips that you say you give to us as a marketing brand that can propel us to greater heights?
I always tell, number one thing I always tell people that you don't know your followers' behavior. Of course, in marketing, in a way I did banking and finance in school. So, so your customer behavior, you can't determine your customer behavior, and it happens like that online. I've seen creators, I've seen brands, I've seen businesses that in-house, they limit what they give maybe to their followers or to their space because they plan it. And let's plan it like this. You don't know their behavior. You can't determine for your audience the kind of content that will blow up.
That's true.
If your content is not against the rule of law, it's not about fraud, it's not about scam, it's not about anything about, again, you are promoting social vices. Why are you not pushing it out as a brand person or as a content person? people say, Pooja, you're a sports journalist now. Why are you doing content for this? You don't limit yourself. Because I'm a content person, because I'm a sport person now, why can't I influence a crypto brand?
Okay.
But because you want to limit yourself, and people say, I don't get a lot of engagement, I don't get a lot of, because you reason for your audience. Some people do content and feel like, this one go blow. How do you know that it will blow? When I was in Egypt, I was taking pictures, and the picture that I was even careful to take, because at that time too, I went with a naming ceremony camera, I just buy camera, I just say make I go. So it was bad pictures. Because when we got to Egypt, we saw the Chinese, the Americans with gadgets. You want to be hiding your own gadget. You want to be hiding your own, let's be like gadgets. But I took a picture and I was posting it because I didn't limit. Because this one no fine. The picture I even posted that blew up, which
I said is not fine.
Yeah, the Mo Salah picture. It was the one that was even closer to me because I didn't have a wide lens, and I just took the picture and I posted it. And before I went, I finished the game. Mo Salah have retweeted, he has liked it, and it blew up. It gave me like over 100,000 followers.
Wow.
So you can't determine your audience. You can't determine your market. That's why you have, look at Dangote. He's in petrol. He's in sugar. He's in this. He's in Spark. A lot of businesses, because you can't determine the kind of audience you have. So as a growing content brand, you can okay. Let's sit down and do only sports. Let's bring all these celebrities. It can be someone on the street that will blow you, that the story will blow up. So if you limit your in-house, if you limit what you churn out, you limit what your diverse audience will consume. And that is what is killing a lot of people. You see, this picture is not fun. Don't let me post it. You are a content creator. You are a content person. You are a creative. What you have to do is make sure you push out your content as soon as possible. And of course, be just like we call it, be creative. You are a creative, so be creative. Just do so many things.
You never know which one is going to blow.
Even just the Super Eagles game. Sometimes you feel like, it's Victor Osimhen that will trend for you because he's everywhere. But you just post a picture of another player, just one body, and it just blew up. My biggest traction wasn't even on my TikTok. It wasn't even Victor Osimhen. It wasn't even the popular players. But if I limit myself that I'm more, for internet and Victor Osimhen, they chop. So that means you are not even giving your audience or your followers the freedom to choose from your content. You are boxing them to a corner. They must like Victor Osimhen, you like your picture. But people want to see other stuff. So for me, I always tell people, don't determine the customer or your consumer behavior. You cannot. It's just like your customer service. You sit down with every customer, you don't determine for them. Some can come with issue of POS, some can come with issue of ATM card. They can just come to maybe account opening. So you can't determine for them. For you, what you have to do is open up your brand, push out well, and now that the internet is crazy, you don't know how fast your content will move, and the brand will just blow up.
So, in addition to that, I would say for your brand, I've noticed that you are always connected with the grassroots. Even, I think at the Nigerian Benin game yesterday, you even took some pictures of people in the stand. So, would you advise that connecting with the grassroots is one of the key ingredients that can propel us or any other brand to more heights, or we just need to focus particularly on that target audience that we feel will consume our content?
Okay, so this is how it works. So let me give you an example. So I'll give you an example from the sports that will translate to the world side. When I was, I had the viewing center and I was doing Premier League. And when I entered into the local space, I was, of course, blogging. I was blogging foreign news.
Okay.
And my blog was not moving. And then I had the boss. And I said, see, if you are not promoting MPFL or promoting local content or grassroots content, that space of people that wants to read your content, because I always tell people, you can't compete with the biggest of the biggest platforms. I can't compete with BBC. They have sources, they have exclusive. It's when they post their sources and exclusive, I will now bring it to my blog. I will not get that traction. But that BBC, they are looking for grassroots content. And how do they get the grassroots content? They won't come to you who is republishing what they are publishing. They will come to you because of the original content you are churning out. So if they now put your original content on their own bigger platform, it now blow up your platform.
Strategic position.
So if you continue to push your foreign, you can't compete with people that have the foreign. If I go for international tournament, nobody sabi me. You'll be working like a loner. Nobody. Because they have their own local people too that they look up to. So the market that you want is your own local market, which is what will propel you internationally. Because if anybody wants to pick you up as a brand now, they won't pick you up as an Englishman. They won't pick you as an Ugandan or a Ghanaian. They will pick you as a Nigerian representing Africa.
Yes.
So my own connection is very straightforward. I'm a grassroots person. I can't imitate because I have little, exposure. I'm now up there. No. So your content in a way have to relate with the people, because let me give you an example. Nollywood movies are moving well now.
Yeah. Yes.
On YouTube, because there's audience that want to consume it. So if you now mold yourself, you see, it's more cultural now. Everyone is doing cultural films.
Yes.
Dogu Parara, everybody is doing cultural films. Look at all the films, Jago.
Yes.
The movies are moving well, and they're not even in English. Because the people that will consume it, they're already consuming the Fast and Furious, the foreign people.
Yes.
So you can now make a movie in line with Fast and Furious, and you want that people to consume that Fast and Furious.
They consume the Fast and Furious.
Sure, you get me now.
Yeah.
So once you now do your own local, your own cultural, you see now that culturally we are more, it's like it's coming back.
Yeah.
Every movie now is still to culture, tradition, because they know that there's a market that is consuming it. And that is why the Nollywood movies are now moving well, because the people already know where they want to watch the Bollywood movies, the Hollywood movies. But where are they want to get the content? And you see their followers. Yeah. So if you now want to mold to be like maybe a podcast for foreigners, there are already podcasts that are as big as you that is doing that kind of content. Why not do the local one?
Okay, cool.
As I am now, everybody wants to say, okay, Pooja internationally. And that's why they will come to your own platform and watch it and read it and share it, because it's not what is on other major platforms. So your local is your base first. Because, if anybody wants to do anything traditional or anything cultural now, the Oyinbos, the whites, the foreigners will come to Nigeria to pick it up. They won't say it's abroad. They will come to you to pick it up. So if you don't strategically position yourself to be a content for the outside world, nobody will. Of course, you leave your this and you're not competing with people that are already there. I'm talking about Premier League. There are bigger journalists talking about their league. So if they want to get exclusive from that league, they won't pick you from Africa for exclusive of English football.
It doesn't work. It won't even work.
Nobody will, but they will pick you. The people start listening to me about maybe Victor Smith transfers, because they know that this guy is Nigerian, is a Nigerian journalist, is closer to the Super Eagles players or to Nigeria's football fraternity. So they will take my sources seriously than
outside of
maybe a Ghanaian or maybe an Italian. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like for you to get this news, this is the real source. And for me, I can't break news of an Italian player, because there are bigger Italian journalists out there that is breaking the news. So at the end of the day, I'll be the second guy. And if you are a second podcast or a second content too, there's no way you can gain traction or gain subscribers.
Okay, so what we say are the principles behind branding for you, like branding and marketing? Can you go like maybe 5 principles that you know, okay, if you do this and you do this, you are going to achieve this? Like, can you give us some advice? Because there are a lot of people that are just coming up, want to start their business, want to be spectacular. Because you said something about when they saw you, what made you to find your brand was they said, who is that Ankara guy? They don't remember, because most times they don't remember the name, right? They just remember the way you looked and how you made them feel. So can you just give like some principles for people that are just upcoming for brand and marketing?
So it's simple, I think right now in the social space, I think brand identity is very huge now. People are now, creatives are now brands, because the brand, in a way, the corporate brands will see you first before even your stuff.
Yeah.
So you have to brand yourself in a way. It's just like you're stepping out of the house. So how do I want to be addressed going out? It's just like branding for you too. Because all these brands too, corporate brands, they're like drones. They go around and they look for creative, look out for influencers, and that fits what they are doing. For me, it's very simple. I don't play with quality, because I know some young ones just want to do stuff. Networking and referrals is very big in our industry. Very, very big. You likely get a job from referrals than a one-off. You likely get a job from a referral because your services is needed by a churn of people. But if you don't deliver quality, there's no referrals. Even if the referral works for you, you still bust into your face because you didn't deliver quality. And in a way too, when I take jobs, I hone up. I hone the job. I wear the job. Like, people see me and feel like, the way I do it, sometimes they feel like, the brand will feel like, oh, this one is not just collecting our money. It's into the brand. Because you see some influencers, when they post about brands, they don't even go back to even check maybe the feedback or the questions or the complaints from that advert. But you have to be a friend to the brand. Of course, they will give you money, but you have to be a friend to the brand. And again, you have to be consistent. I know that we are in the age of engagement, impressions, and if you don't have views, it's discouraging. I go for events sponsored by myself, and the only consolation is to go back and check my analytics and feel like, oh, I don't make money, but okay, good number of followers.
Some people don't know about it.
More visibility, more exposure. Okay, it's good. Because, of course, if you don't go for those events, maybe brands will not even see that you do stuff like that. So you have to go for that. So I know that it's discouraging if you don't see the views. And so many creators have been discouraged. Oh, God, I know they do, Jerry. Let's go and create content. Oh, God, I know they go. Who they watch them? But you have to be consistent.
Just keep on sharing.
And I always tell people, you don't determine the behavior of your followers. Don't ever try to do it. When you've created a niche for yourself and you already have the market, you can continue. You can now say, okay, fine. This is my purpose. Let me continue to fuel this. But once you have not found your purpose, you know your purpose inside of you, but don't corner, because you may want to be a content creator and you turn out to be even more as maybe a voiceover artist. So if you limit yourself to as a newcomer into the industry, or of course you can mirror yourself with big creators, but don't let it decide what you are going to do in the market, because the market is so big, the following is so big, that if you decide for people, you may box yourself, your content, into a corner.
Thank you. Follow up on that. So, as a media person, as a sport journalist, and even as a brand, the marketing space, how do you handle criticism? Because when you mentioned Jagu Jagu, made me remember this agenda on Twitter, where, especially during our last World Cup qualifier. where the agenda of Jagu Jagu and his voice, when people even say you are the senior prefect of the Jagu Jagu clique. So as a brand, so you as a person, how do you handle criticism? And for a brand, a marketing brand, how well are we supposed to handle this type of criticisms?
Because speaking about that criticism, it was very, very funny when was it Otedola's wedding? I saw it on Twitter, and you're asking that why did you not come and shoot it? I'm sure your mind will be like, what concern me with this one?
I think you even handled that person.
Yeah, I think you handled it.
You did handle it well.
I think, controversy, family member, friends, they send me links, they send me comments, they send me screenshots. And I get calls sometimes, and people always ask me, how is your mental health? I think criticism, is, you have to wear it as a badge, because when you set out to be a brand, when you set out to be a platform, you should know that there's some people somewhere that will criticize it. It's now left for you how you are going to remold it to positives and how you to push your brand to a better audience. For me, I have a thick skin now. So what I do most times is when I close my app or the platform, I close them there. Now I'm on the podcast now. I don't even know what is going on. You can be killing yourself on what is my business? So I've closed it. And I just move on with it. When I want to revisit it, I see it. As a big brand, there are a lot of people that know too much. There's too many I too know. You see, this lighting is not good now. Look at how this one is sitting. Your audio is even bad. You will see the comments. You even see some people that say, this one I just wasted that time. Which podcast are they doing? You will see it. And it's their energy that you need.
Like the fuel.
Because if you don't get comment like that, you may not even have comments on your platform.
Exactly.
You may not even have comments. It's those bad comments is good. It's good. Once they are not defaming you, if they are not saying anything bad against the brand, God, leave them. Use it to. I've done a podcast, I've done a show, and the audio was bad. And because it was a production, we just, let's just push it. And we had a lot of comments from that. From the audio was bad. And the guy that was handling the YouTube page was going back and saying, okay, come back next time. We are going to make the audio better. They didn't say, some people say, are you professional enough? They tell us, say, the audio is bad. You are chasing them away. But the guy changed that narrative, say, don't worry.
Come back next time.
Next Tuesday, we are releasing our
advice.
Next Tuesday. And like 4 or 5 of the comments came back, say, this will not try you. Oh, wow. You've turned them to, because if you attack them or you just block them away, you've blocked your potential viewer away. Because some people don't even know how to talk.
Definitely. Very, very important.
So they don't even know how to talk. So you don't now say, okay, fine, because you talk in a very respectable manner. The people that will comment on your platform will be respected. Oh, God, they don't care about you. But you now find a way to remold that negative to positive. And people now started coming. They are not doing well. Some people can tell your pictures are bad. Just tell them, say, okay, fine, please come back next time. Don't worry. The lighting is bad. Maybe it's the position of the lighting. We do it better next time. See, look at this. How this one is dressing. Don't worry, we'll dress well next time. People say, okay, fine. Pooja, you be color riot too. The way you wear clothes. And that's the color riot. Okay, fine. I can now be matching the colors. It was making sense. I said, Pooja, you now only 1 Crocs to get. I was thinking, man, let me buy 2 or 3 more Crocs. Okay. because for them to be on your timeline, they're actually following you.
Yeah.
Some may not follow you, you see it. But once you post, they type your name and search for you. Because you see some people attacking me, I see you are not even following me.
So weird.
But I just type my name and I see that you've been under my comment section from different posts. Because you're not even following me, someone can retweet or repost into your timeline and you see it. So if you find a way, but I don't take, of course, defaming me lightly. We fight it to the end. But if it's just the regular comments that get people triggered, Because I see a lot of celebrities. Is you see a lot of thank you, you're beautiful. They will now go and pick out of maybe 200 comments, they now go and single-handedly pick the bad one and they will now highlight it. You don't need it. Once the person is not defaming you, there's no way. Even if you watch our podcast, you say, this one won't be like Honest Bunch. You never know it. You better go find work. They will say it. And the person that said it, maybe he doesn't even have a job. But don't worry. Don't even worry. As he said, I say, you will comment. Say that one day, that's what we are even striving to do. Don't worry, we'll come back. Look at the guests they are bringing. No go find better guests. I did there. Okay, don't worry, we are working on better guests. So you have to remold and don't highlight the negative, because you start highlighting the negative, the positive guys, the funny guys feel like we wake up, they say good things about you. I know they see us. Now only the bad people. You just they comment, they make popular, they make. So I think managing it in a better way, because there's no way on earth. If you're creative, you're a big platform, they are not
get critics.
They did somewhere. They are not their job. Wow. Some of them they share them on spots. And they will come and drag a bigger platform, spending millions on a project. But just find a way to remold it to positive and channel it to to growth of the platform.
Okay, great. So this is going to be my final question. What was your... So it's going to be 2 questions, one. What was your eureka moment when say, Pooja, I don't make camp, right? And what was the wildest thing that you've done? Like while on what was the wildest moment while you're on the pitch and you're like, damn, yes, I've done it finally.
I think the number one is the number 2 question. I feel like in our generation now, when it comes to what I do, is to snap the biggest of the biggest players in the world. The 2 biggest, Ronaldo and Messi.
Yes.
And I think I covered Ronaldo before Messi at the World Cup. And when you know that when you see that you're just 3 meters away
from the goats,
you can shout. I shouted Messi, looked at me. You felt so. You feel so fulfilled, like now because big platform, big people, bigger than you, want to be in that space. Platforms rejected calculations for you to be at the World Cup at the pitch side, where you can, when during national anthem, when you can literally touch Ronaldo or Messi like this, so close to the greatness in that industry. And I feel like, and when you now go back to your stock image and you see people buying the picture, you see, it's just like normal, e-commerce. Yes. You see people buying and they drop into your carts. You see the money you are making. You feel like,
okay.
Yeah, and the final game, the World Cup, covering Mbappe and Messi. After the final result, I just felt like,
that's it.
You watch big matches at home. You sneak out to watch all these games. Now you are live covering this game on the biggest stage. There is no football tournament as big as World Cup final.
Yes.
A World Cup final with Messi and Mbappe. That's the biggest, because I don't know. Maybe now we're going to have a final with Messi or a final with Mbappe. But for me to be in that stadium,
to take the pictures of it.
I think Messi picture is my most sold, in quotes, pictures on Imago. It was, the numbers was, it was crazy. At that final, the people that were looking for, because at that final, when you snap, you send, they have a platform, you send, you do your metadata. They just go like that. At the World Cup, they send a special mail to every creator, to every photographers, that from the back end, the platforms, the people, the corporate bodies waiting for pictures from this World Cup. They wait. Once it drop, like the people, they pick up.
Straight up.
Once when you have, for Imago, they have over 50 million subscribers
Wow.
that subscribe for their pictures.
Yeah, that's a whole lot.
And you now imagine like just half of it waiting for pictures.
25 minutes.
The real time picture from
And when it happened,
from the final. Just post a picture like this. Just open your dashboard. Just see that's what you want to do. In a too stingy for this country. In a know they buy anything. They go even crop your water back. They go come out your water back. Start seeing it. So, after the walk or after the final weeks, I just feel like no. You don't have to stop. You have to. And since then, I've gone for the Commonwealth, come for the Olympics, and it's just continued like that.
And your license that you need with Imago.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much.
Qualifier.
Yeah.
AFCON.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's not easy.
Congratulations.
it's not though.
It's not easy.
Only one Pooja.
It's not easy because I think that's what photographer, especially sport photographer, that's what we strive to do, especially for local, domestic photographers like us, African photographer, because nobody really buy our pictures. Newspapers don't really buy our pictures as a local content or local photographers. But for us is to strive to get license on these bigger platforms. Like I said, when you're on a platform of over 50 million subscribers, paid subscribers, you know that your steady income, and you always strive to be on it. And shout out to Ogalalade, former Go editor, moved to Germany and started onboarding local African journalists, photojournalists, and I was opportune to be. I think like two of us, picked all over Nigeria. That's on Imago, and after the review, because every tournament they review, and they see if your pictures are moving. If it's not moving, they look like, okay, fine. Since it's not moving, let's onboard another person. And they check your quality as well. If your quality is good enough, they put you on board, and they continue with your. And after back and forth, they review the contract. And because of big tournaments, are coming, the playoffs as well as the AFCON, I got a renewal. So that's the dream of everybody. And I always tell people, when you work with international platform, that's where you know that you're actually working.
Thanks a lot, guys. I mean, Pooja, we really appreciate
Thanks
you
for having me.
Because most times it's always the sport aspect, but at least you guys now know the man behind Pooja, the name, the swag, the brand, and all those kind of things.
The
right?
legend.
The less privileged as well.
All right, guys. Yeah, so it's a wrap, and thank you once again, one and only Pooja.
Thank you for having me.
Make sure you follow up on Rovatel Media, which is done by enthusiast. I remain your host, Damilare. Today I brought my co-host, my Barcelona fan, Okpe, to this, and we talk everything about marketing, branding, strategic positioning, taking it from where you are to where you want to be, basically. So looking forward to you watching this episode. Comment, share, like my big brother said, if you want to drag us, our camera is not working well. Thank you. We will adjust it. If it's the lighting, let me know. If it's the way I sat down, please let me know too. Or if it's the guest, please let me know. Thank you all. God bless you all. Peace out.